Alright, this is Last Call Reviews, and we're going to be talking about Transformers. Is it Transformers?
That was in the original like trailers. They did the trance, and then they had the four.
Of course they did.
Fours, yeah, it was like
The Need for Speed 4 Mula.
they did that fucking weird that. Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Age of extinction, the extinction of narrative in cinema.
Yeah, I was gonna say the subtitle, but I forgot.
No, I know.
I forgot a lot of things from this movie by the time we got home last night
I
from
didn't
seeing it.
Yeah, okay. Just some background, real quick. I've seen all the Transformers movies. He's only seen the first and fourth. I kind of like the first one. You don't like the first one?
Yeah.
I hate the sequels. I hate the second and third. He never bothered to watch them because he didn't like the first one. We agreed we'd see this one to do a review. Neither one of us wanted to see it.
Yeah.
But don't think we went in cynical. We both like Mark Wahlberg. We both like the trailer. We both think this had a chance to be a better movie than the other ones.
Not a reboot, but it seemed like they're taking more cues from the first movie than the sequels seem to be.
It seemed more grounded and focused.
More structured.
Yeah, like the whole thing with, an Optimus and all the Transformers getting hunted down and him taking sanctuary with Mark Wahlberg in this barn and all that stuff. It's like, okay, you could do something with this, Michael Bay, like reinvent yourself.
It seemed more character-based by the trailers, like there's an emotional core to the movie.
Okay, we could go into, like, background, plot synopsis, who the characters are, all that stuff. Like, I could tell you how the movie starts, where it begins, all that stuff. I'm just gonna tell you right now, there's no fucking reason to. Because that stuff gets thrown out the window, like, 20 minutes into the movie.
Well, the filmmakers didn't care to tell the story, so why should we?
This is the worst Transformers movie out of the four.
The worst Michael Bay movie, aside from Pearl Harbor, which really...
This is a worst made film.
Default.
This is a worst made film by Pearl.
That one just has a historical...
Yeah, it's insulting.
Yeah.
This is the worst made film I've seen this year. This is one of the worst made blockbusters I've seen, and this is one of the most poorly put together films I've ever seen.
It's worse than the Pirates of the Caribbean sequels. It's worse than
the Matrix sequels and stuff.
Yeah.
No, because those at least have some hint of intelligence or craft.
Yeah, you know what's going on in the movies. You can follow it through, even if you don't enjoy it.
I mean, okay, basically Michael Bay he saw Prometheus, and he went, holy shit, this is my Alien. This is what I want to do. I get it.
And then he went home and played Halo 4.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I gotta get some of these aesthetics in a movie.
And then he was like, fuck yeah, I know how to make Transformers 4. I got it.
So then he got on his computer to email the screenwriters.
Aaron Kruger, the greatest screenwriter of all time.
And he was listening to random movie soundtracks like, I got a score in my head.
And then the great thing about it is that I didn't realize the brilliance of casting Mark Wahlberg over Shia LaBeouf was that Mark Wahlberg's a transformer. He transformed this franchise into something much worse.
Well, yeah, Michael Bay transformed into a worse director. That's what he said last
Mark
night.
Wahlberg is fucking horrible in this movie.
Yeah.
This is awful acting. I miss Shia LaBeouf. Sam Witwicky, who's a terrible character, had a better character, more rounded personality.
You could follow him. It's like, okay, he's this horny teenager. He's got a car.
Mark Wahlberg's this random, overprotective, creepy father.
Yeah. Basically, his character motivation throughout the movie, well, there's two things. First, he wants money, so he finds Optimus Prime trying to get money to pay for his daughter's college. And his wife died, so he won't let her date. And she's 17, although she looks about 25.
Yeah, there's this weird sexual tension between them two that just was weird.
It's really weird.
No, they didn't seem like they never came off like father-daughter. There was no chemistry in that.
That's what's disappointing about the movie to me is I honestly thought Mark Wahlberg could make a likable protagonist just kind of being Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, having charisma.
Instead, he's kind of a sociopath, psycho.
No, he's horrifying in this.
Yeah.
He's horrifying. He doesn't really become Mark Wahlberg till like the last final stretch of the movie.
And if you're hoping for a heroic arc, that's not...
No.
He just decides to be a different person in the movie.
The movie just... This movie has like 20 acts to it. It has tone shifts. It just changes the kind of movie it is constantly.
It's a very complicated movie while also being very simplistic.
No, it's at a level of like a grade schooler, like to understand it, the writing level, but it's complicated.
Like a children's cartoon.
Yeah.
Which is cool, especially in a Transformers movie. But it's from this convoluted manner that's hard to follow.
Oh my god.
As if simply making it convoluted makes it seem intelligent.
And the worst editing I've seen in a long time.
No, it reminds me of what people say about Nolan with his transitions, but it's like somebody finishes a sentence and before the period hits, it's another scene with talking.
It just cuts to another shot of something else happening and the camera swoops in and you have no context of where you are or sense of place. I mean, like the first 20 minutes of this movie jumps around like a fucking like Michael Bay just like found cocaine again, like just super cocaine. It's like the Super Shredder from TMNT 2 is Michael Bay, like I'm Super Bay, and it
goes from the dinosaurs to some ice place.
No, it's the thing. It jumps to some girl discovering thing
to Mark Wahlberg's house.
Yeah, and it's all. I mean, it's all
like 5 minutes.
It's less than that even. It feels like 3 minutes.
And it's sad because
it just jumps. It's just so quick. Like Bay doesn't give any time to establish
the dinosaurs haven't come back for another 2 hours at least.
Oh my god, the Dinobot! And I'm a Transformers fan, the cartoon and everything, comic books. To even people who try to like these movies on that level, this movie's fucking insulting on that level. They don't give any of the characters their due. They force things from the show just to give you fan service.
It reminded me of the Resident Evil movies.
Oh, I know.
How it's like, look, it's Leon.
No, that's how it is.
Some little cameo.
Like, they have, like, Galvatron in this, and it's just such horse shit, like how Michael Bay handles it, which is typical Michael Bay, but...
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that he has a bigger actor in this than Shia LaBeouf...
Who's giving a worse performance.
He has this experience of the previous films and a chance here to really do something new. And he made the laziest film out of the series.
And also the benefit of time.
No, I know.
Because this wasn't made for as much as some of the previous movies, which you were telling me. But
this
even
was
with
budgeted
time,
very well.
It should look better naturally.
No,
even if it's cheaper.
This was less spectacle than the previous films. Like, you couldn't be sucked up in the awe of the special effects.
It was really gritty. It was like a Crank or something.
No, he kept doing these, like, swooping, gritty,
gunshot sort of action scenes.
He's trying to do these, like, gritty documentary-type shots that we're going through. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, it's got this self-seriousness about it, even though it's completely stupid and ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, he's not a self-aware filmmaker to make it fun. Like, people are like, just turn your brain off and have fun. I'm like... I would do that, but Michael Bay won't let me have fun.
Well,
he thinks it's a fucking masterpiece.
It was hard to even follow the plot. No. I was just confused.
Like, I can't tell you the characters' names. Like, I know Jaeger was the last name.
After about the halfway point, it jumps around so much.
I know.
To these various stereotypes.
I know. Like, I thought Amazing Spider-Man 2 had bad editing and plot development.
No, it makes me feel much better about that film.
No, I apologize, Mark Webb. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, like you're better than Michael Bay.
Yeah,
like at being Michael Bay. It's
amazing. Amazing Spider-Man 2, B+.
Yeah. It already gets on.
That's how I feel.
Like that was in the C level, but this I mean, here's the problem. It's really hard to review this. That's why people don't get the big discussion lately has been: are critics too harsh on the Transformers films? Should people just accept Michael Bay for who he is?
Well, you know what I think? I think the Transformers films are too harsh on critics.
Yeah, they're mean to people.
I can imagine having to sit through 4 of those movies.
They're mean to us. That's the thing. Like, we have to sit there and review this. And you have to watch a film that's so mindless, that's so much on the surface of what's wrong with it, that to review it, it's just such a waste of your time. You can't think of things to even say.
You sit through for 3 hours for essentially an hour-long plot at best.
Oh, let's point that out too. This is the longest Transformers film. This is 3 fucking hours. This is a 3-hour movie, like he said, with a plot that can barely hold for an hour. An hour. That means there's 2 hours of random shit.
It's like Michael Bay had Peter Jackson step in to help edit.
Oh no, it's like they were working on The Hobbit and this in between with each other, and
they couldn't figure out how to make it under 3 hours, but they still went really fucking long. So they just cut out all the transitions from scene to scene.
This is the problem with Hollywood today. They got in this thing where they got into complexity and spectacle, and now we're at this point, and we've seen it with so many movies this year, Maleficent, Spider-Man 2, all this stuff, films we mentioned, is that they're just films that are scenes put together like clips without context or flow. No director is flowing or pacing their films. They're just giving you spectacle, swooping camera shots, big budget CGI, and no story. There's no narrative to the films anymore.
Well, it's a part of this hyper-advanced filmmaking that we have now where, you know, there's the theory that says you don't need to show a shot of a mountain for longer than a few seconds because today audiences get that it's a mountain.
We can process it quickly.
However, with this kind of thing, you can process it, but it's not done in an advanced way.
Well, you need to set
it's
some
done worse
kind of,
than it used to
you
be.
need to set some kind of tone or character in your film.
Yeah, it's like they think the
Establish something.
technology or the audience's preconceptions already are enough to carry the film, and it's not.
When did Hollywood just become the internet, where it was looking at memes and GIFs instantly and scrolling down on Tumblr or something? That's what these movies flow like. Like, it's just
from post to post.
Yeah, it's like BuzzFeed movies or something. I mean, it's like, joke, action scene, like, cool shot. I mean, there's a chase scene in this with Optimus and them about, like, I want to say half hour in or so, and it's just cutting to random shit and you don't know what's going on. Like, why is Optimus on a rooftop? Why is this car? Whose car? And this girl drives a car. This girl drives a car and hits a guy in the head with a tire, and then they make this jump from speed where they make, like, a impossible jump, and you're like, what's the physics in these films? What the fuck are you?
Yeah.
And Optimus
is both gritty and grounded, but yet so exaggerated.
Optimus changes his powers like 9 times. He has things he didn't have things he had before.
We stopped by his pit crew between set pieces and got updated.
No, he becomes King Arthur at one point, and it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Well, speaking of which, one thing to address are the Transformers themselves. Which, 2 of the big ones from the previous movies, Optimus Pride and Dutch Rudder, return. And then there's a new casting with John Goodman as a bearded cigar robot.
Man, here's the thing. Like, they introduce these new Transformers that are trying to give them personality and make them fun, but they do the problem they do in the sequels, too, where they're in the movie for like 5 minutes, you don't get to know who they are. They just say catchphrases. They don't.
No, it felt like a video game.
Yeah,
that's set up.
They're not characters. They're just sitting there with personality. And you're like, man, this Autobot, this race on Cybertron, they deserve to get wiped out because they are just a group of stupid idiots who just are so, like, war hungry.
It's a community of racial stereotypes that just kill each other.
Yeah, like, Optimus is the only one that ever seems to have any value as a person.
And even he's a stereotype unto himself.
No,
because
like,
he's the Optimus Prime stereotype.
No, yeah, I know. And in this, they try to, like, change him up where he's pissed now, like, fuck the humans. And that would be badass, like Optimus being, like, broken and needing to kind of come back and Mark Wahlberg coming through it. And the movie tries to do that, but it's so forced and unearned. It's not earned at all.
It has no focus, the film. There's no emotional core to it. And that's what should have been the center of the film.
There's a clear heart there.
Even the climax, how it's set up with taking out the obvious villains at the end.
Oh, I know.
They could have set that up for a really good payoff with both of them, where the humans need the Transformers and vice versa. Which sounds silly in concept, but in a good film you can accept.
No, here's the thing. You can accept anything stupid in a good film. We talked about Days of Future Past this year, where it's full of ridiculous plot lines and things going on. Charles Xavier has a drug addiction and stuff, but when the actors take it seriously, when the script's written well, when a director knows how to edit and pace a film, you can accept silly things. Everything stupid in this movie I could buy if I didn't feel like nobody gave a shit while they were making it.
Yeah.
Nobody gave a shit while they were making this movie.
No, it's one of the most paycheck movies I've seen in
No,
quite
it's
a
lazy.
while.
It's like just $200 million just throwing down the drain.
Maleficent, I think there's a lot of effort put into on a technical level.
I agree.
I just think that it was chopped up.
The studio.
Amazing Spider-Man 2, I hear the studio is messing with. And also I have a feeling that
this just feels
it
like
was just overwhelmed.
This just feels like Michael Bay just like not giving a shit.
Yeah, it's like he knew what to do. He could handle it. He just chose not to.
No, and people always want to say, like, well, just go for the action scenes. This is the most underwhelming film of the series for me when it comes to action scenes. I think this is, like...
I expect it to be very bombastic and big, and it's
small.
It's small, but yet the scale's large.
He tries to keep this more intimate, even though it's a big movie, and it's like, I thought it was a good decision early on, but it's a wrong decision. This film could have benefited from the Michael Bay grandeur.
Well, it still goes out in the city with the big fight and stuff, which I get.
Yeah.
But,
I wanted it. I wanted a big fight in the city because it was fucking boring. Nothing was happening.
But it started out in a way that kind of promised a much smaller, intimate movie, but with these horrible characters.
Very much going back to basics in the first movie with Sam Witwicky finding Bumblebee. This is the reverse where an adult man's finding Optimus. Yeah. And it was supposed to be like, hey, let's develop this. But they do it all so fast. Like, he meets Optimus, and it's literally like 5 minutes later that they're on the run.
That's what I was going to say, is that what the film should have been was Mark Wahlberg playing a generic Tony Stark finds Optimus.
Yeah, I like all these ideas.
And then he has his daughter, and she's going out as typical Spielbergian.
Yeah, it's his wife's dad.
But you can accept it.
No, why not?
If it's done well.
Why not?
Then he meets Optimus, accidentally builds him, whatever.
Yeah.
And then he develops this relationship with him. He doesn't like the humans, but Mark Wahlberg's helping him. Maybe he can get kind of like a Frankenstein type of chemistry.
Or Iron Giant or something.
Exactly. And then about 40 minutes into the movie, the CIA comes in, and then other Transformers come in. And it can be a 2-hour movie, really well paced, and you can accept all these issues to some extent.
The weird thing about this is that he does these like more hand-to-hand gritty 90s action scenes too.
Yeah.
Like there's this. I'm going to talk about a few good things, which I'm not positive on these movies terrible, but because contextually they're horrible. It's just they're good as standalone things.
Yeah.
But there's like this fight where Wahlberg and Danny Houston, I think. I don't know if it's Danny Houston. I can't remember. It's not. Oh no, it's a guy from Lost. He was on Lost. But they're having this fight on like this like building, and
they're going down the building.
They're dropping fight to fight. It's a really cool idea for a fight scene. Like it is a really. It's like a parkour type, but two guys who aren't doing parkour. They're just trying to survive, and there's also stuff like just Wahlberg like punching him, they're having fist fights, and actually the way he kills someone is pretty fucking hilarious at one point.
Yeah,
where it's like it's one of the dumbest.
I don't really mind spoiling it.
Okay, he basically
hits a guy now with potpourri.
Yeah,
and then he flies out the window.
And
or
then
something.
it's a shot from Die Hard. And it's just like, but yeah, they have these cool like gritty fight scenes that feel like they're in another movie.
Yeah,
but.
Even the Transformer fights are more gritty, where it's like
they're following humans, like they're going through buildings following humans, and then they show the Transformers.
Yeah, and like shooting like blasters at each other and stuff, and it's not really there's not big explosions or big bombs through a lot of it so much as more simplistic fighting.
This is the biggest problem with Michael Bay's films in this series, and essentially what's wrong with the sequels. Which I always told him how bad they were, and he had never seen a sequel until this one where. He doesn't establish, because he does this in the first one, it's just kind of mediocre. He doesn't establish the Autobots or Decepticons in the sequels well. So whenever they're fighting, you don't know who's fighting.
Yeah.
You don't know who to care about. So when there's no emotional investment in the characters, you're just watching stuff happen in the background and you have no feeling.
Yeah.
It's so dry. Where in the first film, Jazz and Ironhide and Optimus and Starscream and Megatron. They get enough characters to their fighting. You're like, okay, we get it. These are these robots. Here, like these Decepticons or whatever that are fighting them in the final battle, whoever they're fighting.
I don't even know who they're fighting.
No,
except for Galvatron.
Galvatron's the only one I know that like has any character in the bad
really
guys.
His characters that he kills.
Yeah, that he's bad.
Yeah. He hurts good people, and that's his character.
And they have this whole thing with the Prometheus thing where they go back to their creators, and it's so convoluted, and Optimus has to, like, go back to dinosaurs to fight, and
then it has the same ending as Prometheus.
Oh, it does. It has the same beginning as Prometheus and the same ending. It's insane.
Yeah, Optimus
it's a straight up
space with Mark Wahlberg's
It's a straight up rip-off of Prometheus. I'm not saying that to joke because I don't like Prometheus, but it's like, holy shit.
It's interesting that Prometheus, as we're seeing with Man of Steel in this,
at
least in an aesthetic way, did influence Hollywood.
Yeah.
Just like Transformers influenced Hollywood.
Hollywood has this problem where producers like to copy patterns. Like when Dark Knight Rises came out, we got all these films like Skyfall, which I like a lot, but it was basically the hero getting broken and having to rebuild
Iron
like
Man
that.
3.
Yeah, they're all Iron Man 3. And now we're getting these like Prometheus alien like other beings coming down and our creators and why we're here and stuff in all these movies. And Superman, same thing. And it's like...
Which is actually a good idea for a film.
Just no one's been doing it, right?
Well, nobody's been exploring it. It's like,
it's simplistic.
Where are we from? Okay, I better go find out. And then that's it. It never goes anywhere.
I can't... I'll give this one thing. Michael Bay really did cut down the humor in the racism and sexism department. The second and third film, particularly here's the funny thing about it though. This is a worse film because of that. When I saw the sequel and the third film, what I really hated a lot was how insulting they were. Not just intellectually, but just they were sexist and racist. And it was like, this guy's like shouldn't be making films. He's a bad person. Or he's an idiot. He's just a bigot idiot.
Yeah.
And then this film comes out and he takes all that away. And it's so serious, but it's so stupid that it's toneless. Those other films, that comedy's stupid, but it gives you something. Like
you could latch on to it.
Yeah, you can cling on to the two annoying twin black robots in the second one that are terrible stereotypes because they're just there and it's stupid. This film, there's nothing to cling on to. It's just characters talking, but you don't get any sense of who they are. So you just sit there like, I mean, it's like a dry pussy or something. I don't know what to say, man. It's just not fun. It's just not a good time. Like, you know, I mean, not stuff, but that's how it is. It's like it's the worst. It's sex. It's like a beautiful woman, but it's awful sex. Or for a woman, beautiful man, and it's like a small penis. I don't know. It's just terrible. And Michael Bay just is becoming a worse director with time.
No, that's the biggest thing with the movie is, first of all, Mark Wahlberg. You know, it really makes him look worse for choosing to sign on to this project.
No,
and
it's awful.
One of the worst things about it.
No,
but Michael Bay is the worst thing about the movie in the sense that he's such a bad filmmaker with this.
I know.
And how he puts the film together, structures it.
It's so incompetent.
It.
I mean, like, I'm sorry. Like, you could say you want, like, oh, he's good at special effects shops. Like, I don't give a shit. This is not a well-made film. The editing, pacing, flow, shot choices are terrible.
With the budget that he has,
on a student film level, it's terrible.
Yeah.
This is incompetent filmmaking. Like, you're stupid if you think this is... I'm sorry, I'm not insulting you, but fuck you. This is bad filmmaking. This is poorly edited and constructed filmmaking. It makes no sense.
What's confusing about it?
It's incoherent.
I can accept it from a lower budget movie. Like, maybe the director didn't know how to put the movie together, but Michael Bay does.
That's the thing. Michael Bay knows how to make a movie. He knows
what he's doing, so it's like, why are you deciding to make these choices?
I've seen Bad Boys. I've seen The Rock. You know, I've seen those, even Pain and Gain or Armageddon, all that stuff. They're more competently made films than this. He knows how to flow something. Yeah. This is just slapped together.
Like, those movies, you can like them or you cannot like them. Yeah. That's up to you and your taste.
Yeah, well, I'm not a straight-up Michael Bay hater. That's the thing. I'm not like, oh, fuck Michael Bay. I always give him the benefit of the doubt most of the time, but now he's just pissing in my eye.
It was just lazy. It's like, even the other Transformers, he's like, okay, you're trying to put something together, you just are kind of... It's really insulting and weird.
You don't know how to tell a story. You're a bad storyteller.
Yeah, but this one, it's like he didn't even try to make a movie. He's just trying to make a paycheck.
He was trying to make something that was enough to show a trailer to sell to international audiences because they're trying to make movies now so broad that they appeal to everybody so they can get the box office in China.
And in the end, they appeal to nobody.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Because no one can relate to it.
This film's probably going to make like $1 billion, and you know what? That's a bad thing. Don't see this movie. You're gonna hurt if you want to watch it.
Don't pay to see it.
Yeah, download it or pay to see another movie and sneak. And I'm telling you, do not endorse this. When you support this, Hollywood will keep making movies like this, and they'll be.
It hurts culture.
Yeah, it'll hurt culture. That's the thing. Kids will grow up watching these shitty movies, and that's what they'll know as narrative in cinema. Do you want that? Do you want little kids? And you say, oh, it's for kids. It's like when I was a kid, I was watching Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back. Those still have narrative. I was watching Indiana Jones. I wasn't watching films that are so simplistic and insulting.
I don't even think a kid would enjoy a movie like this.
No, it's so confusing and it's just 3 hours of noise. Yeah. Like, who's this made for? This isn't a kid's movie.
It's made for Michael Bay.
That's the thing.
That's the only person.
He's the
target audience.
He is the Spike Lee of blockbusters. He's just the most indulgent, insulting filmmaker. And then you try to explain to him his problems, and it's like he never gets it. It's like it's like there's this fucking.
I was talking to him the other day, and he just didn't get it.
Yeah,
listen, what do you mean, Todd? All right, so to wrap this up, the last two things. First of all, last call on the movie.
Yeah, ratings.
And I'll let you go first.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to avoid ranting much because I've been getting a lot of fights with people online about Michael Bay recently, and this movie coming out in particular and all that. And I try not to come off biased all the time because it seems that way. But the thing is, I've seen all 4 of these movies in the theater and paid, so I feel like I deserve to say what I want about them, and I've been through this. When he made a shitty second movie, a shitty third movie, and now an even shittier fourth movie. I really feel like Michael Bay has some kind of personal vendetta against me and what I'm trying, like my existence as a film goer. This isn't as insulting or as crude as the other films, and this isn't as, and in many ways this isn't as just even as dumb, but it's lazy, and I can't forgive laziness. This is as lazy and as bad, and like I said, as awful editing as I've ever seen in a film. And the fact that it costs so much, and Mark Wahlberg is awful in it, and one of the worst parts about it, and they kill off characters that are entertaining, they jump around, it makes no sense, it's stupid, it's not fun, I hate it. I hate this movie so much. I hate that its existence. It wasted my time, and if you see this, it's going to make you dumber, and if you enjoy it, you really need to go reevaluate how you see film or not. I'm sorry to say that to you, but really, this is bad for the world of cinema and art and culture. This is why movies are dying. This is why things are going bad right now in the world we live in of instant gratification and social media. This has to stop. We have to stop letting Michael Bay get away with this. This is an F. This is an F. This is an awful fucking piece of shit film. And do not let Hollywood take your money by putting so much little effort into it. Don't let them do that.
Yeah, I pretty much, I mean, I don't know what else to give it an F. I could give it an F plus if I was being nice, just because the special effects are what you expect
But you've
from a
seen it
Transformers
before.
film. Yeah. That's the thing.
They didn't up the ante.
The people making it are competent, but they're putting the most minimal amount of effort into it.
I was more impressed by the first film's action and special
No,
effects.
I agree. I think they looked more impressive in the first movie.
Yeah.
And,
they built up to it.
yeah, I mean, it really, I don't know what to say about it. It's just bad. It's bad for culture. It's bad for audiences, I think. And also, I mean, I'm not a fan of Transformers.
Yeah.
But to the fans, it's really insulting. It makes them look bad for enjoying the original
It's
stuff.
It's like when I like a comic book movie and somebody's like, "Oh, you like Tim Burton's Batman or something like Batman Returns or The Rides Up the Wall." And I'm like, "No, if I wouldn't read comic books if they had dumb shit like that." And it's like this makes people who like Transformers look
It
stupid.
makes them look bad.
Yeah, when there's really a lot of good Transformer stuff out there in comics and shows, trust me, where the characters are good and developed and you do get a sense of the world, and even the action scenes are better handled in the animated shows than what Michael Bay
in
did.
conclusion, are you excited for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
You know, I was very open-minded about it, but after this and Michael Bay producing, and I know someone else is directing it, but yeah, Michael Bay's
No.
like, I mean, I'm
I
done
look
with
forward to
him.
reviewing it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay to see it.
No.
And one thing I will say is I don't know how it could be worse than this. We'll wait and see when the runtime comes out.
I mean, this is the worst movie of the year.
Yeah.
Hands down. I mean, I don't know
No,
what could top it
nothing's
either. I mean,
There's no way to.
when we do a worst of the year list, like, because I'm sorry, this has the circumstances of it had so much money put into it.
This is a film only Michael Bay could have made.
Yeah, for all the negatives of that. Yeah, this is an F. I'm sorry to anyone who likes Transformers, and I'm sorry if I said something that insults anyone likes, but I'm at the point now I've seen 4 of these movies and I'm just pissed off. So just stop, Michael Bay, please.